In today's fast-paced, ever-changing world, it feels like everything around us is evolving, from the technology we use to the way we communicate and interact. Yet, despite all this change, some truths remain constant. These timeless principles shape who we are and how we navigate life. One of those truths is this: a man must be prepared to handle himself in any situation. It's not about being perfect or fearless. It's about being capable, dependable, and resilient when life demands it. There are certain skills every man should master, skills that transcend time and culture. These aren't just survival tools or outdated traditions. They're essential abilities that define strength, leadership, and integrity. Regardless of the era we live in, these skills remain as relevant today as they were centuries ago. Why? Because they speak to the core of what it means to be a man, a protector, a provider, and a person others can rely on when it matters most. Now, let's address something that might cross your mind as you watch this video. Some people may feel that highlighting these skills or emphasizing the importance of being a strong man promotes toxic masculinity. That's a fair concern, especially in today's social climate where traditional roles and expectations are being re-examined. However, the goal here isn't to glorify harmful stereotypes or create a divide between genders. Instead, it's to acknowledge an uncomfortable truth. Many modern men are struggling to find their footing. We're in an age where weakness has become normalized. Countless men have been misled into thinking that masculinity is something to suppress or apologize for. They're told that men and women are completely interchangeable, that there's no difference in their roles, strengths, or responsibilities. But ignoring these differences doesn't erase them. It just creates confusion. Strength, whether physical, emotional, or mental, isn't toxic. It's a virtue. And learning to harness it responsibly is what separates strength from recklessness. This video isn't about putting anyone down or enforcing outdated norms. Instead, it's about equipping men with the tools they need to thrive in a complex, unpredictable world. These 6 essential skills are designed to help you become a better version of yourself, not just for your own benefit, but for the people you care about and the society you're part of. So, whether you're just beginning your journey or looking to sharpen the skills you already have, this guide is for you. Let's dive into the 6 essential skills every man should develop to not only survive but excel in life. 1. Knowing how to fight. It doesn't matter if you're a businessman, a doctor, or a comedian. If you don't know how to fight, you're missing a fundamental part of masculinity. Avoiding street fights or senseless brawls is wise, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't know basic fighting techniques. Imagine you're walking down the street with your wife, and someone slaps her on the butt. What would you do? Calling the police isn't enough in that moment. You can't just stand there and wait. Ignoring it completely would mean losing both her respect and your self-respect. Nobody should be able to harm or disrespect the people you care about without consequences. Unfortunately, many modern men would choose to walk away and rationalize their inaction. But as a man, one of your primary roles is to protect. Turning a blind eye in situations like this means compromising your honor and neglecting your role as a protector. The rule is simple: avoid fights whenever possible. But when the situation leaves no other choice, you must know how to defend yourself effectively. A well-timed punch, executed with skill and precision, can make all the difference. But don't fool yourself. If you don't know how to fight properly, you could end up hurting yourself more than your opponent. So take the time to actually learn how to fight. 2. The ability to diffuse conflict. This skill is an essential companion to knowing how to fight. No matter how physically strong or skilled you are in combat, the real test of character lies in your ability to prevent conflicts from escalating. Resorting to violence should always be your last option. A man who can calm a tense situation, restore order, and maintain dignity without throwing a punch demonstrates true maturity and leadership. Consider this. When emotions are running high and tempers are flaring, it's easy to react impulsively. But reacting without thought often makes the situation worse, not better. The ability to step back, assess the dynamics, and apply calm but firm persuasion is a hallmark of true strength. This doesn't mean being passive or avoiding confrontation. It means taking control of the situation in a way that commands respect. Think about how alpha male gorillas manage their groups. When the alpha arrives, the others naturally fall in line, not because he's physically imposing in that moment, but because his presence alone projects authority and confidence. He doesn't need to act aggressively to maintain order. This type of respect and influence stems from his ability to embody power while keeping the group unified. For humans, this skill requires practice and emotional intelligence. It's about understanding how to read the room, identify sources of tension, and use words or gestures to diffuse hostility. A sharp tone, a carefully chosen phrase, or even silence at the right moment can redirect negative energy. Knowing how to manage conflict in this way earns you admiration and trust, not just fear. The truth is, the ability to de-escalate doesn't come naturally to everyone. It's a skill that must be cultivated over time, and it starts with learning self-control. If you can't manage your own emotions, how can you hope to calm someone else's? This is why knowing how to fight and being able to diffuse conflict are two sides of the same coin. When you're capable of defending yourself, you don't feel the need to prove your strength unnecessarily. Instead, your confidence allows you to approach volatile situations with patience and tact. Lastly, mastering this skill is about more than avoiding trouble, it's about setting an example. In a world where many people resolve disagreements with shouting, threats, or violence, being the man who can bring peace makes you stand out. People naturally look to a calm, composed leader for guidance. Whether it's breaking up a fight, resolving a workplace dispute, or stepping in during an argument among friends, the man who can settle conflicts without escalation becomes a pillar of strength for those around him. 3. Having a strong presence. Ever noticed how some men can walk into a room and instantly command respect without uttering a word? This isn't some mysterious, magical trait. It's a learned skill. A strong presence is the result of consistent habits and behaviors. Start with the basics. Offer a firm handshake, make eye contact when speaking, and stand tall with your chest out. When you meet another man's gaze, nod respectfully to acknowledge him. Charisma, in reality, is a behavior you can learn just like any other skill. However, faking these traits won't work. People can easily spot someone trying too hard, like the guy who squeezes hands too firmly or stares too long to seem intimidating. The best way to cultivate this presence is by surrounding yourself with strong, respectful men. This could be your father, a mentor, or even men in a fighting gym. Fighters, in particular, often have a quiet confidence and carry themselves with dignity. 4. Thinking critically. Deep, critical thinking is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. It's a tool that improves every aspect of your life. It helps you make better decisions, solve problems creatively, and engage in more meaningful conversations. Yet, in today's world of information overload, critical thinking is becoming a rare skill. Many people blindly accept what they're told without questioning it, while others cling to their own biases and refuse to consider alternative perspectives. But if you want to stand out and truly grow, you need to learn how to think critically. The first step is to approach every topic or problem with curiosity instead of assumption. Don't believe everything you hear, but at the same time, don't assume everything you already know is correct. This is harder than it sounds. Human nature pushes us to seek confirmation for what we already believe, while ignoring anything that challenges our worldview. But critical thinking requires you to go beyond that. It demands that you take a step back, question your assumptions, and genuinely consider other perspectives. For example, just because something has always been done a certain way doesn't mean it's the best way to do it. Traditions, habits, and even laws can outlive their usefulness. By challenging the status quo and evaluating new methods or ideas, you not only open yourself to growth, but also uncover opportunities for innovation. Critical thinking also involves recognizing the limitations of your own knowledge. The most intelligent people are not those who claim to know everything, but those who understand how much they still have to learn. A great way to practice this is to seek out information that contradicts your opinions. It's uncomfortable at first, but it strengthens your ability to assess arguments objectively. Read books, listen to debates, and engage in conversations with people who see the world differently. By doing so, you sharpen your reasoning skills and expand your mental horizons. Another key aspect of critical thinking is learning to spot logical fallacies and biases, not just in others, but in yourself as well. Are you jumping to conclusions without enough evidence? Are you letting emotions cloud your judgment? Are you relying too much on authority figures or popular opinions instead of thinking independently? Catching these patterns in your own thought process is crucial for becoming a more rational, effective thinker. This skill also applies to everyday situations, from personal relationships to professional challenges. Imagine being faced with a difficult decision at work. Instead of panicking or choosing the first solution that comes to mind, critical thinking allows you to weigh the pros and cons, consider long-term consequences, and make a choice that aligns with your values and goals. Finally, remember that critical thinking is a practice, not a one-time achievement. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So question, analyze, and reflect regularly. Take the time to dive deep into topics that interest you, and don't shy away from complexity. The more you embrace this process, the more capable and confident you'll become in navigating life's challenges. 5. Managing your money. One of the most glaring gaps in our education system is the lack of financial literacy. Most schools focus on academic subjects but fail to teach practical skills like budgeting, investing, or even understanding the basics of credit and debt. As a result, too many men enter adulthood without a clue about managing their finances. This ignorance often leads to poor financial decisions, living paycheck to paycheck, and missing out on opportunities to build wealth. For men especially, financial stability is closely tied to personal confidence and the ability to provide for loved ones. Learning how to handle money isn't just about survival. It's a critical skill for living a fulfilling and independent life. Society often conditions us to believe that having a stable job and earning a consistent salary is the ultimate goal. But this mindset limits your potential. True financial freedom comes from shifting how you think about money, viewing it as a tool to create opportunities, not just something to spend or save. One great starting point is the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which challenges traditional ideas about money and teaches you how to think like an investor. The lessons in this book emphasize the importance of assets, passive income, and making your money work for you. It's an eye-opener for anyone stuck in the cycle of trading time for money. The sooner you begin building financial literacy, the better equipped you'll be to navigate life's challenges. Start by learning the basics, how to budget effectively, avoid unnecessary debt, and set clear financial goals. Gradually, work on understanding more advanced concepts like investing, diversifying income streams, and planning for retirement. Remember, the journey to financial independence is a marathon, not a sprint. With consistent effort and smart choices, you can create a solid foundation that not only supports your dreams but also provides security for the people who depend on you. Mastering money management isn't just about growing your bank account. It's about gaining control over your future. 6. Handling stress. Your ability to manage stress directly influences your success. A man who panics under pressure will never outperform one who remains calm and rational in tough situations. Stress is a universal experience, and as a man, your responsibilities will naturally increase over time. Many stressors come from procrastination. If you're always rushing or feel overwhelmed, it's time to tackle this habit head-on. Start by listing everything you need to do and assigning deadlines. This simple act helps clear your mind and reduces stress. Prioritize tasks based on importance and urgency, and focus on one at a time until it's done. Being proactive rather than reactive will keep you in control, even during high-pressure moments. Society tends to forgive women for cracking under pressure but holds men to a different standard. As a man, you're expected to bear the burden of performance. Don't complain about it, embrace it as part of becoming stronger. If you're serious about leveling up in every area of life, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Until next time,